The history of Nike is really interlinked with running. The company itself was founded by Phil Knight and Bill Bauman, an athlete and his coach, and they were really striving to serve runners. It's how can we really listen to the voice of the runner and serve runners by coming up with performance innovation solutions. One thing that we started to hear back from runners more consistently was this idea that there was a little bit of a compromise. If they needed support, they had to have a shoe that was typically stiff and heavy, and if they needed cushioning, they had to have a shoe that didn't offer that much support. Dynamic support is a relatively simple execution of some very, very complicated science. It's a softer core foam and a firmer carrier foam, which are bonded together. The benefits to an individual runner of this system are, firstly, it's runner specific. So depending on the individual runner, they'll engage the system differently, which feels like a big move from where the industry's been. Second thing is it's foot specific. So depending on whether your left foot or your right foot needs some more support or more cushioning, this system adapts to that. And thirdly, it's also run specific. So what we've found through research is that even the most neutral of runners at the start of a run will fatigue and need a little bit more support towards the end of a run. The first shoe that we applied the system to was the LunarGlide 1. We feel good about our sales results, we feel really good about what the industry is saying about the shoe. More importantly than any of that, we've had phenomenal feedback from runners. And that's really given us the confidence to take this idea and really accelerate it through 2010 and provide even more solutions around this novel, interesting, innovative idea that we call dynamic support. So fall for us is really exciting season. We're really going to accelerate our work around dynamic support, and we're really going to offer a comprehensive collection of products that offers and gets after the needs of individual runners out there. So a really good example of that would be the Lunar Elite. What we're really trying to do with the Lunar Elite was take the system but tune it a little differently. So the Lunar Elite feels closer against the foot and closer to the ground. So it's more appropriate for faster based running. What we did, we took the dynamic support platform, which you know runners like, we tuned it a little bit, and we also wanted to make the upper very, very simple. Those two things combined make the shoe feel a little lighter on the foot and a little more nimble underfoot as well. What we did with the Lunar Fly was take the dynamic support system and apply it in a way that really felt more lightweight and simple to reduce the amount of seams and potential irritations, but very, very light feeling on the foot. The LunarGlide 2, we had two specific things that we were focused on. The first was to make the shoe a little bit lighter, and we looked at some new ways, some new techniques and some new ways of constructing the shoe to make it a little bit lighter. And the second thing was to really improve the fit. So we wanted to make sure that it still had that nice accommodating fit that runners loved about the LunarGlide 1, but specifically we looked at the forefoot fit and just tightened that a little bit to make sure that it was an even better fit for runners out there.
We also have a new shoe that we're introducing called the Nike LunarEclipse. This is the LunarEclipse, and as you can see, we have this feature here that we're calling the floating heel support clip. And the way that works is that it's attached to that soft core foam, and as you can see, it extends under the heel. Instead of just now something that exists in the midsole, it's a feature that extends all the way up into the upper of the shoe as well, providing an even broader range of support so that the system works for even more runners in a more effective way. We got great feedback about the cushioning in the LunarGlide, but we thought we could actually take that a step further. If you look at the data, if you look at what we call force plate analysis, you'll see that there's actually more force going through the ball of your foot than the heel. And we came up with what now seems like a very simple idea, which we just call bottomless carrier construction. You've got this great soft cushioning foam under your foot, and it's surrounded by this firmer, more supportive carrier foam. And you need that support around the heel to provide stability, but you don't need it under the ball of the foot. So basically, we just cut a hole into it where you want maximum cushioning. And what that did was that it allowed us to increase the thickness of this nice soft cushioning foam by 33% under the ball of your foot. So you're getting 33% more cushioning where you need it most. You're also getting a weight benefit because this firmer carrier foam is a little bit more dense and a little heavier. So by taking some of that away, we're able to take away some weight. And then finally, because we're reducing the total number of layers through here, you're also getting greater flexibility where you want it, which is under the ball of the foot. Another feature we're really excited about is this new sock liner. So we've got this two-layer construction where you have this responsive, resilient foam at the bottom that gives you great cushioning over the course of a run. And on top of that is this really nice soft plush foam that just feels great the instant you step into the shoe. In addition to that great cushioning you get from the sock liner, we've also got this molded heel support cup. This is engineered to provide support around your heel. And this cup is designed to work hand in glove with the floating heel support clip. The hard part of the clip works in conjunction with the floating heel support clip to provide you with that added support if you need it. Comfort and fit were absolutely huge considerations with the LunarEclipse. And one of the things we knew we wanted to do straight away was create this completely seamless interior environment. You can see it on the outside in that there's no stitching. So this is a component of the upper before it's been put together. And if you see the inside, typically you'd see all kinds of stitching inside all over the place because, most shoes are stitched together. But instead here in the LunarEclipse, we have a completely smooth, seamless interior environment that just feels fantastic against the foot. One of the interesting things we've found is that women have, in general, more sensitive feet, particularly along the top of the foot and the front of the ankle. So the woman's LunarEclipse features a little bit of a different construction of the tongue, where we have this wrap-over construction, so that there's no seam along the top edge of the tongue that could cause irritation along that front of the ankle. And then another key area was a different execution of this flywire midfoot saddle, where you have the same pattern we saw on the men's model on the outer side of the midfoot, but on the inner side we have an increased number of the flywire threads to provide enhanced support through the arch. The important thing to remember is that our goal in all of this was to actually create a shoe that would just completely go away once you put it on. We wanted something that would absolutely provide incredible plush cushioning, that provide an incredibly smooth ride. Ultimately, we wanted a shoe that would just work as one with your body, that would just be such a natural extension of your foot that it would completely feel like it's not there anymore. That's why we think runners are just going to love the Nike LunarEclipse.